St. Augustine, commentary on the Gospel of John, chapter 19, verse 17 to 22, Tractatus 117. On Pilate's judgment and condemnation before the tribunal, they took the Lord Jesus Christ about the 6th hour and led him away. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into the place that is called Calvary, but in Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him. What else, then, is the meaning of the evangelist Mark saying, "And it was the 3rd hour, and they crucified him"? Mark chapter 15, verse 25. But this, that the Lord was crucified at the 3rd hour by the tongues of the Jews, at the 6th hour by the hands of the soldiers, that we may understand that the 5th hour was now completed, and there was some beginning made of the 6th, when Pilate took his seat before the tribunal, which is expressed by John as about the 6th hour. And when he was led forth and nailed to the tree with the 2 robbers, and the events recorded were enacted beside his cross, the completion of the 6th hour was fully reached, being the hour from which, on to the 9th, the sun was obscured and the darkness took place. We have it jointly attested on the authority of the 3 evangelists, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Matthew chapter 27, verse 45, Mark chapter 15, verse 33, Luke chapter 23, verse 44. But as the Jews attempted to transfer the crime of slaying Christ from themselves to the Romans, that is to say, to Pilate and his soldiers, therefore Mark suppresses the hour at which Christ was crucified by the soldiers, and which then began to enter upon the 6th, and remembers rather to give an express place to the 3rd hour, at which they are understood to have cried out before Pilate, "Crucify, crucify him." Verse 6. That it not only may seem that the former crucified Jesus, namely the soldiers, was hung him on the tree at the 6th hour, but the Jews also, who at the 3rd hour cried out to have him crucified. There is also another solution of this question, that we should not here understand the 6th hour of the day, because John says not, "And it was about the 6th hour of the day," or about the 6th hour, but says, "And it was the parasive of the Passover," about the 6th hour. And parasive is in Latin preparatio, preparation. But the Jews are fonder of using the Greek words in observances of this sort, even those of them who speak Latin rather than Greek. It was therefore the preparation of the Passover. But our Passover, Christ, as the Apostle says, has been sacrificed. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. And if we reckon the preparation of this Passover from the 9th hour of the night, for then the chief priests seem to have given their verdict for the sacrifice of the Lord, when they said, "He is guilty of death." Matthew chapter 26, verse 66. And when the hearing of his case was still proceeding in the high priest's house, whence there is a kind of harmony in understanding that therewith began the preparation of the true Passover, whose shadow was the Passover of the Jews, that is, of the sacrificing of Christ, when the priests gave their sentence that he was to be sacrificed. Certainly from that hour of the night which is conjectured to have been then the 9th, on to the 3rd hour of the day, when the evangelist Mark testifies that Christ was crucified, There are 6 hours, 3 of the night and 3 of the day. Hence, in the case of this parasive of the Passover, that is, the preparation of the sacrifice of Christ, which began with the 9th hour of the night, it was about the 6th hour, that is to say, the 5th hour was completed, and the 6th had already begun to run, when Pilate ascended the tribunal. For that same preparation, which had begun with the 9th hour of the night, still continued till the sacrifice of Christ, which was the event in course of preparation, was completed, which took place at the 3rd hour according to Mark, not of the preparation, but of the day. While it was also the 6th hour, not of the day, but of the preparation, by reckoning of course 6 hours from the 9th hour of the night to the 3rd of the day. Of these two solutions of this difficult question, let each choose the one that pleases him. But one will judge better what to choose who reads the very elaborate discussions on the harmony of the evangelist. And if other solutions of it can also be found, the stability of gospel truth will have a more cumulative defense against the calumnies of unbelieving and profane vanity. And now, after these brief discussions, let us return to the narrative of the evangelist John.